Overnight, a promising weekend for Chicago police ending on a very disappointing note.
2 young children are among a nearly dozen victims of gun violence on the July 4th holiday. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli live at Children's Hospital. Mike, how are those kids doing this morning?
At this point, we have not yet gotten a status report as to their condition, but we did hear that their conditions were stabilized at last check. We can tell you that there are actually 3 children that were shot yesterday that are all being treated right now in the emergency room here at Comer Children's Hospital. We've just gotten some numbers in from CPD. There were 16 more shootings from midnight till 6 o'clock this morning, and in one of those shootings, a man was killed. Now that brings our shooting totals to 4 dead and 62 wounded from Friday to 6 a.m. this morning. The youngest victims are, according to the Sun-Times, 5-year-old Tanaya Williams and 7-year-old Corey Bondurant. They were shot while playing in the street in front of their home last night. It happened at around 11 o'clock in the 5500 block of West Hermitage in Englewood. That's when police say an unknown offender opened fire on a group of people, shooting both children in the legs. 2 adults were also hit. The number of holiday weekend murders is down, though, to 4 from 10 last year. Now, the city's top cop believes that's because more than 70 so-called strategic subjects were arrested in recent days.
The gun violence is driven by a small segment of people in the city of Chicago. We have roughly 2.6, 2.7 million people. And when you have 1,400 individuals that are driving that gun violence, if you start holding them accountable, it absolutely will make a huge difference.
Set to undergo surgery. A 5-year-old girl shot was released earlier, and she's now recovering at home. Her 8-year-old cousin remains here, and he was set to undergo surgery this morning. Both were shot in the legs in a violent final stretch to the holiday weekend. Along the 5500 block of South Hermitage today, there are bullet-riddled cars and remnants of the fireworks kids suddenly dropped at around 11 o'clock last night when gunfire tore through the crowded street.
2 or 3 guys came out the alley right there and started shooting.
And just at anybody, or were they aiming at?
I don't know. They shooting at anybody.
One bullet hit 8-year-old C.J. Bondurant in the leg, and another hit a leg of his 5-year-old cousin, Tanaya Williams. Both are expected to recover. Chicago police had a significant presence out all weekend with 5,000 officers and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson on patrol. But the holiday weekend wrapped with a total of 64 shootings, mainly on the west and south sides.
The men and women of the Chicago Police Department put forth a great effort this weekend to reduce this gun violence.
Exasperated Eddie Johnson, vowing to stop criminals from wrecking a weekend that is about country and family.
CPD will not tolerate violent behavior, and if you choose to put others in danger for your own actions, you will feel the full weight of CPD and our partners in law enforcement.
5,000 uniformed and plainclothes officers, city, county, state, and FBI will be out where the people are. Navy Pier, baseball games, city parks to deter crime. Extra patrols on expressways watching for speeders and drunk drivers. It all comes upon revelation that June was horribly violent. 72 murders for the month, bringing the total for the first half of the year to 315, putting Chicago on pace for 700.
These have been unsettling killings, to say the very least. The youngest victim was just 3 years old. Tonight, Hazel Crest police are not detailing anything to the public about where they are in their investigation. So people in this neighborhood and those who knew the victims are left with both shock and sadness tonight.
A 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, may God have mercy on their souls.
At this Hazel Crest home early Saturday morning, an unthinkable tragedy unfolded. 39-year-old Deonis Neely, a father of 2 girls, 3-year-old India Neely and 10-year-old Elle Neely, were all killed.
I'm a teacher at Jesse White Academy. I taught Elle in 3rd grade.
The news of the deaths tugged at Cindy Keber's heart. It was the pain that pulled her toward the home.
My car, instead of getting off at my exit, my car just came here.
There, some 16 hours after the crime, she saw police still expanding the search zone, investigators collecting evidence, and bloodhounds sniffing for clues. Then, somehow, it all became real.
My heart is pounding. I can't believe that she's gone.
It's really, really, really weird and not normal at all.
The killings shocked the conscience and the community.
But it's a tragedy.
Bullet holes could be seen on the side of the next-door neighbor's home. Several neighbors said it was common to see the children playing in the front yard.
Their kids are always outside. It's quiet usually.
It was about 2:30 this morning when Hazel Crest police were called to the 2400 block of Crescent Drive.
That's on Crescent. That's right by my house, you know, like a block away, not even.
Neighbor Robert Spencer came to see the situation and says the killings,
3 people killed, 1 man and 2 children,
have rattled the neighborhood.
Oh, I'm afraid.
But some recall a history of trouble at this house.
There's been multiple times that there's been situations or different occurrences that happen in this area, particularly involving this house.
My relationship with these kids are like...
Antoine James works at the school.
I like family.
He struggled to make sense of the killings.
My heart goes out to her, the baby, and her family. They're in my prayers. I will be praying for them at church tomorrow.